Hello everyone. Today let's talk of burlesque. 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 If we have to define it in a phrase, in brief, we can say it's an incongruous imitation. Imitation, you understand? To copy something. What is incongruous? For understanding incongruous, you have to know congruous. For knowing congruous, you have to know congruent. You know what congruent is? I hope you have heard about congruent triangles. When each sides and angles of a particular triangle is equal to the other one respectively, means respective sides and respective angles are equal. They are called congruent. So if that equality is not there, then we can say that they are incongruent. So that inequality, that inappropriateness, that being improper or unsuitable is called incongruous. Okay? So incongruous imitation, it means imitation will be done not to make the equal outcome, in order to deflate it. Deflate, you understand? In order to decrease the order and merit. Will be clear with the words coming. When we'll have to talk of in elaborative way, we can say about burlesque. It imitates the manner or else the subject matter. Focus on the words. It imitates the manner or else the subject matter of a serious literary work or literary genre. When we talk of manner, while imitating manner, it can imitate the form and style of the text, or else the subject matter, means the content. So either style or content of a serious literary work or a literary genre. Mind it, these are two different things. Work or genre. A genre is a class, is a common noun. Okay? And literary work is one of that is a proper noun. So try to understand. It can imitate manner or style, manner or the subject matter of a serious literary work or a literary genre. And that can be in both, in verse or in prose. So there is no limitation that it must be there in verse also or in prose also. Means a novel can also be imitated, an epic can also be imitated, a drama even can also be imitated. Okay, so burlesque can be in the form of any genre. But makes the imitation, when that imitation is done, makes the imitation amusing. That is a kind of fun after reading that. Makes the imitation amusing by a ridiculous disparity between the manner and the matter. So manner that is there in the original text, when that is being imitated, you will find a very different kind of manner. Or if the content is imitated, you will find a different, a very trivial kind of matter there. So in order to imitate that, for making burlesque, the writer of burlesque creates a kind of ridiculous disparity that is very clearly visible and that can make you amused. It can be written for amusing someone, for fun, but yes, it is also a very useful form of satire. So burlesque is a form of satire. And of course, whenever you read a satire, satire is written for a remedy. Of course, it has some purpose. But when it, sometimes it cannot have purpose, it can just be for a fun. But of course, when we talk of satire, it also has that element. It is written for ridiculing someone or some act. But at the same time, that ridiculing creates fun. Okay? So it may be written for the sheer fun of it, usually. However, it is a form of a satire. Okay? Then, the butt, B-U-T-T, of the satiric ridicule may be, what is butt? This blow. Smashing someone. So that blow, that butt, the butt of the satiric ridicule may be the particular work or the genre that I have told you earlier also. It can be that particular work or the genre that is being imitated, or else the subject matter to which the imitation is incongruously applied. Means in a very irregular manner, in a very unstable manner, that imitation is being applied there on the particular work or the genre or the subject matter. Or often both of these together. See, mind it. So it can be that imitation can be done of the work or the genre, one thing, and the second thing can be done for the subject matter. But mostly we see that both of them are included. So in most of the cases of the burlesque, you will find that imitation is done of that particular work and the or the genre. At the same time, the content as well is being imitated. Okay. Now, when we talk of burlesque, we'll have to know its classification. If we are unable to identify different burlesques, we generally use the terms very interchangeably. For example, we talk of burlesque, parody, travesty in the same manner. That difference we have to understand. Burlesque is a generic name. But when we talk of parody or travesty, they are species of burlesque, means they are the types. Okay. Let me tell you very clearly so that there should not be any confusion. A burlesque can be divided into two types. Burlesque can be divided into two types, as it is given on this page number 6. I have made this arrow. Burlesque mainly can be divided into two types. The first one is high burlesque. The second one is low burlesque. In high burlesque, we have two things: parody and mock epic. In the low burlesque, we have Hudibras poem and travesty. One more thing that can be included with high and low burlesque in this genre named burlesque, and that is lampoon. So we'll discuss these all one by one. We'll know what is high burlesque, what is low burlesque, and in a high burlesque what is parody, what is mock epic. In low burlesque, what is Hudibras poem, what is travesty, and what is lampoon. We'll talk of that in the end. Now let's know what this high burlesque and low burlesque are. What are these terms? If the form and style are high and dignified, mind it, if the form and style are high and dignified, but the subject is low or trivial. So form is high, subject form is high, style is high and dignified, but the subject means the subject matter is low or trivial. We have high burlesque. Clear? Means style and form are dignified, but the subject matter that we'll have to deal through that style is low or trivial. Then we have high burlesque. The opposite of it is called low burlesque. Means in opposite, in low burlesque, what do we have? We have high and dignified subject matter, but the treatment is very trivial. The style and the form of the work is very trivial. Is it clear now? Okay. So now come to the types, the varieties of high burlesque. One of that is parody. See, when we talk of pronunciations, this is not parody, this is parody. In American this is called parody, and in British this per will be aspirated and it will be pronounced like fur. It will be Faraday. Faraday. Per will be like fur. Parody. Okay. And in the similar manner, when we will talk of this travesty later, travesty is in American English, and in British we have travesty. This ter will be aspirated. As we know, in British English this per, ter, ker sounds, when they come in the beginning, they all are aspirated in fur, ter and ker. Okay. So parody, it imitates the serious manner and characteristic features of a particular work or the distinctive style of a particular author. See, as I told you, in high burlesque we imitate style, but the subject matter is trivial. Okay, so we'll have to keep this in mind while dealing with parody and mock epic or mock heroic poem. So in parody, it imitates the serious manner and characteristic features of a particular work or the distinctive style of a particular author. See, this distinctive style of a particular author makes me reminded of mimicry of some of the actors. When you watch on YouTube or somewhere else the mimicry of Bollywood actors, you generally find people imitating Nana Patekar or Shah Rukh Khan, Sanjay Dutt. Means some actors, Irfan, some actors are there, Amitabh Bachchan. The voice of those actors are being imitated most of the times. Why? Just few are there. Means of course we find some mimicry artists there, they can imitate many of the actors, but generally when we see that there is a group of mimicry artists, they can imitate just few number of actors. Why? Because these few have a very unique style of speaking, a very unique manner of speaking. Their voice and their style is very much different from others. That being different makes them able to be, to have mimicry of that. So in parody also we find that distinctive style of a particular author is being imitated. Distinctive style. And that distinctive style makes them different from others. Okay? So, parody imitates the serious manner and characteristic features of a particular work or the distinctive style of a particular author or the typical stylistic and other features of a serious literary genre. And what does it do? As I told you, it deflates the original by applying the imitation to a lowly or comically inappropriate subject. So as I told you that here we'll have this, that the subject matter will be trivial, will be of low value, comically inappropriate subject. See, lowly or comically inappropriate subject. So this original is being deflated. Original means the work which is being imitated. It is being deflated. Very good word. D-E-F-L-A-T-E-D. Means reduced in importance, in size, in its magnificence, in its impression. So particular work or distinctive style of particular author or typical stylistic and other feature of serious literary genre is being imitated by what? By introducing some inappropriate subject with it. Okay? See, for example, as we have in our villages a very famous phrase, Koiri ka dulha. There we find a person who is going to be married. He has worn some clothes of a kind that one part of it is in a very bad situation. For example, if the person is having this kurta and pajama with gamcha or some other kind of cloth, so one of them is not in inappropriate manner, and that makes the beauty or the handsomeness of that bridegroom as it makes it worsen. It makes it of worse condition. Are you getting what I'm saying? Means all sort of good things are there, but one particular omission is there, one particular mistake is there in the cloth, and that degrades the handsomeness, the beauty of that boy. Okay, so this parody we have here, in parody we have a very high dignified style or a particular style of a particular author or a particular literary genre in a very dignified manner, but the content, the subject matter is very inappropriate, very comical. See, for example, think about Paradise Lost, the great epic written by John Milton. And there is one person, one writer called John Phillips. John Phillip, John Phillip. John Phillip wrote The Splendid Shilling, and in that The Splendid Shilling, he parodied the epic style of Paradise Lost. Okay. So the treatment is in epic manner, but the content is different. The content is very inappropriate. The second example of the parody, very famous example of parody that we find in English literature, especially in English novels. There was one pioneer of English novels, Samuel Richardson. He wrote Pamela, a novel talking of a girl Pamela, as its subtitle is Virtue Rewarded, Pamela or Virtue Rewarded. There we have a girl named Pamela. She is virtuous by nature. How is that depicted in the novel? She is being sexually harassed by the people around her, but she, conserves. She makes herself, safe from them. She, establishes her character, being virtuous. So there we have a girl being surrounded by the people who are trying to sexually harass her. Okay? In Pamela or the Virtue Rewarded, that was published in 1740 or 41. Just 1 year later, there we find another pioneer of novel who is called Henry Fielding. He wrote one novel called Joseph Andrews, and in a very funny manner, Henry Fielding calls his protagonist Joseph Andrews as the brother of that Pamela. Why? In a manner, he projects him and says, there you find a girl being surrounded by such people. Here I have a boy. Here I have a male person being surrounded by such women. They are sexually harassing him. As we have the character of Lady Booby, who tries to seduce him. And one more example that we have there, one maid servant tries to do the same with Joseph. A very, funny kind of novel, Joseph Andrews. Of course, sometimes you will find it boring when the philosophy of Henry Fielding is very much there in the novel, but overall, the novel is very entertaining. One must read it. So, Henry Fielding in Joseph Andrews parodied Richardson's Pamela by putting a hearty male hero in the place of Richardson's sexually harassed heroine. So, that is being parodied. The character of a girl is being parodied in the character of a boy. So that Joseph Andrews, the novel by Henry Fielding, is a good example of that parody. Okay? Then we have the second form of high burlesque, and that is mock epic or mock heroic poem. So you'll have to understand why is that called heroic also. Heroic doesn't mean being having description of hero or heroism kind of thing. Heroic means here we find heroic couplet being used in such works. Okay, that's why they are called mock epic or mock heroic. And obviously when this is mock epic, this is a kind of high burlesque that is different from parody, in the sense that here we see how an epic is being imitated. As the name it suggests itself, as an epic is being imitated. Okay, a type of parody. So try to understand. Even we can say that a parody is a kind of burlesque and mock epic is a kind of parody. Is it clear? This is not different from parody, it is a kind of parody. A type of parody which imitates in a sustained way. What does it imitate? It imitates in a sustained way both the elaborate form and ceremonious style of epic genre. Mind it, epic genre. So epic genre is in the center, and its style and manner, form and style. Elaborative form, as we know that how much elaboration is there in an epic, and that's why that makes that epic very, of a large length or a greater length. So epic genre, it has elaborate form and ceremonious style. So both are being imitated in this kind of parody. Okay, but applies it to narrate. Once again, the subject matter is trivial, but applies it to narrate commonplace or trivial subject matter. Clear? There we have one example of mock heroic poem, that is called Macflacno by John Dryden. Another best and supreme example that we have of mock heroic poem is The Rape of the Lock. It was published in 1714. See, let's talk something about The Rape of the Lock. Even the title itself suggests that mocking, that making fun of. Lock, L-O-C-K. Lock does not mean that lock here which is there with key, tala, that we call in Hindi. No, here lock means lock of the hair. So the rape of the lock. So the rape is there being applied on what? Lock. Means that some part of hair is being cut, and its being cut shows the degeneration of the honor, degradation of the honor, and that's being called the rape of the lock here. Okay, now see how it is a mock epic. Why is it called mock heroic? I told you, because heroic couplet is being used here. Heroic couplet is the form that is very much used there in the time of Dryden and Pope. There we have theft of a lady's curl, some part of the hair, that is being theft, that is being stolen. See, you can compare it to that depiction of Iliad and Odyssey, or you can think of Ramayana as well. You can compare that in the context of Ramayana, so that you can so that it can be very much clear to you. Or you can think of Paradise Lost as well. See, for example, Ramayana. In Ramayana, what do we have? We have the story that Sita, the wife of Ram, who is considered to be a divine origin, a person of divine origin. So Sita is being abducted by Ravana, who is considered to be an evil, a demon. And here in the place of Sita, what do we have? Not a girl is being abducted, not a woman is being abducted. Instead of that, what is the subject matter? The curl of a woman is being cut, is being stolen. Okay? Tiny supernatural machineries. When you read the Rape of the Lock, you will find that how, as we have in epics like Ramayana, how time to time different angels, they help in the time of war in different forms, how they come time to time in the sky, and how do they they put flowers on these people. Or as you find in Paradise Lost, there is the battle in between gods and devils, in between gods and Satan and other sort of people. And in epic generally that divine machinery works. Gods, they participate in war. What do we have here? Here we have supernatural machinery, very tiny kind of, very little kind of supernatural machinery. So how their position is being degraded, that we find here, how their position is being imitated here. And battle between the sexes. Generally in epic we have the fight between males, generally most of the times. If you see in Ramayana, in Mahabharata, or in Paradise Lost, in Iliad or Odyssey. But here what do we have? Here males and females are fighting. And as in real fight, in real war, the people use weapons like arrows and all sort of weapons. What are they using here in this mock epic, in the Rape of the Lock? They use hatpin and snuff, combs. And what is the battlefield there? They don't have Kurukshetra like Mahabharata. They have a place, you can say a bar, or you can say not a bar, but the place where a coffee house, you can say. That is the place, place of battle. So this is how you can understand how in mock heroic poem, in a mock epic poem, the subject matter is very much trivial. The form, the elaborative form of epic and ceremonious style of the epic is there, but the content, the subject matter is very trivial. Okay, let's stop here. We'll talk of varieties of low burlesque in the next video. Thank you.